What's up, Printhouse? Bruce from Printavo. Today we've got an awesome shop talk. We've got a brand new guest here, Stephen Farrett from Campus Inc. Stephen, how you doing? So Stephen, how's everything going with the shop? Yeah? Any new hires that you really like? What about some tricks and tips? What can you offer our fellow screen printers?
10 tips.
Today we're in Fort Worth, Dallas area for the ISS Fort Worth show. We're hanging out over here at Trust Printshop. Matt's gonna give us a quick tour and show you guys around. Let's take a look.
Beginning of 2015. Been in business for 14 years or 15 years. Can't remember. But we found this building. Just the shell was just beautiful. It was like a rundown like electrical company.
Yeah.
So we were able to demo that and build this space. We've been here for almost 5 years. So it's been cool.
Yeah, I think we were just saying the lighting is so nice because even though it's not, there's a lot of natural light there, but like the lighting choices too.
Yeah, that was really important. Building all of this took like 8 months longer than we had planned, and the details kind of wore out the contractors, but the lighting was really, really important. Every room having natural light was really important, so put everything along these 2 walls here. Even the bathrooms have natural light, which is awesome. Which is super cool. And then here with our screen room, we didn't want to leave anybody out, but we couldn't fit this along the exterior wall. So yeah, every room has windows. So all of the bulbs are 5,000 K. So it's all the same temperature from wherever you're at in the shop. But in production we have HO bulbs, so it's pretty nice.
You're big on details. I see from the outside in.
Yeah. So come on out. We built everything just as modular as we could. So everything flows through this way. We have the office where we're doing customer service, and our art department, our marketing team are all in the front.
And how many square feet did you say?
The whole space I think is 14.
Like, do you do a lot of contract, or are you mostly direct?
We did some contract work. It just kind of happened. We didn't choose to. But we've really gotten out of that. I think we have one contract customer. We're working with them because we like them. But our business is not set up for that model at all.
Would you say your business, a lot of the online, like your website says killer? Is it a lot of like incoming users use the portal and everything like that, or?
Yeah, 30% of our business just comes direct. We'll come in on Monday morning and we'll have 10 orders.
That's awesome.
Ready to go. Yeah, we're trying to get that number up to 75. Our ordering form is limited, and we're trying to speed it up and blow out the options. But we just launched it with a simple model, and then we're adding on features like every week. So we have this 3-room flow where we're reclaiming and also developing all at the same time. It just kind of completes through the loop. We didn't have a lot of space, and we needed to keep the noisy reclaim away from. So we built a dry room in between where it's humidity controlled and just pulling all the moisture out of the screens after reclaim and then after coating, so we can start it.
Cool. Yeah. This is like a holding cell back there?
Yeah, we can take a quick walk. So things just kind of dry fast, and we're able to keep the humidity on because it's small. Pretty simple. So yeah, things just kind of pass through here, and we're imaging in here, and exposing in here, and then going right back out.
Nice.
Super simple. We're using the Jet 2. We've had it for like 7 years. Still love it. Exposing with the OLEC. Love this as well.
What is it?
This is our exposure unit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're exposing, come check it out. We're hanging.
Just hang it on the screen?
Yeah, hanging, and then because we're not using films, we're just able to expose right there.
Wow. Smart deals, huh?
The what?
This is Douthits, right?
Yeah.
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 Huh. The Kiwa. Interesting.
Yeah.
So is this putting ink on the is it putting ink or wax or what's the
It's putting wax.
wax?
Yeah. Our team is organizing things by our groups and our versions. Instead of having this 5-digit number that's in the 56,000s, which is relating to this layer within the separation, as we're imaging screens, we're typing the frame number that we put that, we call that a shell, that we put that on. So when a printer needs shell 59,015, they don't have to pull them all out and look at that number. They can just scan the 10 parts like really quickly. So we'll just find a frame number. So we're simplifying all of that to our print team. They're just looking for frame numbers. For blanks, they're just looking for the order number, which is that set of blanks. We used to get things mixed up. They're like black next level and they kind of look the same and it's the same quantity. We used to like mix that up. We haven't mixed it up in years. That's awesome. We have one sample in every run.
Really?
So receiving is pulling which one is the sample. And then we're testing on that, sitting it down and press checking on that before we run.
Then you guys hold on to that or whatever?
Yeah, we have a full rack of a year's worth of every job that we run.
That's so cool.
So you keep it a year, you say, and then you toss it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a revolving inventory, so we're donating months at a time.
Wow.
And then
That's so
storing.
cool.
It's a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah, we used to do it in boxes, and then we started having to pile boxes high, and then we'd have to get to the bottom box, and it was a mess. So we have something better, but it's still a monster. But it helps us do a lot of reprinting. It's organized by day. All of our machines are Sportsman's, and then everyone is set up pretty identically. So you could work on any machine. We rotate every 2 weeks, but you can work on any machine.
Or
Machine. Yeah, so we have 3 teams, and then they're rotating every 2 weeks. And then everything's kind of just mirrored. So, you know, we have the same stuff at each station, and so everyone kind of knows how it works.
Sure.
The machines are different because we bought them like 2 years apart, so the control panel and switches and things are different. But
This year now they have an LED on it, the button and it lights up.
yeah,
I bought mine like
1 year too early.
so that's
And the lasers is that you're doing of like rigging that up. You see the alignment lasers sitting above the presses?
yeah. We bought these from a company called Lazit. We're really happy with them. Yeah, mounting is a little bit tricky. You can see, like, you have to get up there. It's kind of labor intensive, but we love them.
The presses had lasers on them, but they didn't know. The new Sportsman.
Yeah, they wobble,
Yeah, they're just like, I don't know.
and then table up and table down.
Yeah.
If that's your machine.
So because that's stationary, there's no, it's all in the same spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are the plastic, the doghouse things
Yeah.
above the oven?
Those are dog houses.
Or
Just kidding.
oh yeah, I saw a puppy up front. I'm like, maybe they have parrots.
Does
I don't know,
Murphy
like
sleep back here?
birds.
So these are prototypes of something that we're trying to build. If someone's already making it, great. We'll just buy theirs. But we do a lot of water-based ink, specifically high solids water-based ink, and being air conditioned, we have airflow, and so that's to encapsulate the print head to kind of, you know, reduce the amount of air that's coming across and drying off our ink, and then kind of capturing some of that humidity. The ink is going to evaporate, but
If water basically dries. The
Sure.
plastic all does not dry.
Okay.
So some shops will use reptile foggers.
Oh.
They'll literally like put foggers in there,
Sure.
or like they have to put a mister bottle on it. And if they like stop printing, like they have to keep it flat, or they'll wrap it in a garbage bag.
we have foggers that we fill up.
Yeah.
We call it a stay wet.
Uh-huh.
We fill it up with humidity while we're running.
Huh.
And then it stays good. We're measuring humidity, it stays fine. We're maybe pumping it up every 5 or 10
You
minutes.
guys do a lot of water-based printing.
Yeah. Especially on a long run. It's just so high maintenance. You can't add more ink. You can't scoop it back in. So we just want it to stay good from the beginning to the middle.
So
To
do
the
you guys
end.
like custom mix everything, or do you guys try to keep things on the shelf, or like?
We mix everything. even our black ink. Nothing too fancy here. Also two-color.
Oh, weird.
We have a recycle program that we do that's pretty high maintenance, but the ink is very good and the result is very good.
Yeah.
Do you refrigerate and hold on to stuff then, or?
Sometimes we will discharge, only if it's like a 4-color, and then we have a function in our business called guaranteed quantities. Whatever the quantity is of every size you order, we're going to guarantee it. And so sometimes we're resetting up jobs and carrying links over if we mess something up. So
There's no spoilage if they choose guaranteed, or basically there's no spoilage.
No spoilage.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
She wish you could pay a little extra for S&S and Sanmar and Alpha to do that.
Yeah, and that we're fighting their problem as well with factory damages.
Right.
So
Yeah.
our formulas have factory damage of every manufacturer built in. Some brands are worse than others. So.
How do you keep your equipment so clean? Sorry, I just one thing I noticed,
You're like, "This is really
you walk
clean."
into shops and they're covered in lint,
Sure.
and the machine's
It feels dirty in here right now. We've been
need to
overtime.
Come back with us.
come back with us.
Yeah, we've been overtime since March.
Okay.
So everything's kind of dirty right now. Just not really getting full attention.
Sure.
But I mean, we do long runs sometimes, but we're not like a sweatshop company. Generally, we do lower quantity, 100 or 200 piece runs. So I think that's a factor. We're not just running multiple shifts. We're running generally one shift. We're using roll-on adhesive,
Okay.
99%. Sometimes we'll use a little bit of mist, or we have to use web for bleach,
Sure.
but no airborne adhesives that really begin that. This machine is 3 months shy of 10 years old.
Wow.
It'll last another.
We spend the time to clean them.
Okay.
That's part of
Doesn't
it.
just happen.
That's the spray adhesive.
Yeah, just than that.
Put
Yeah.
the shirt on.
And it gets everywhere in the truck. Okay.
When we're not in overtime mode, we have a 15-minute reset at the end of the day.
Okay.
Just like Starbucks or any other.
Yes, restock your, yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Going back to the move, you talked about it took 8 months longer than you thought. Or were there things that you would have done differently? Or it's just stuff that came up that the contractors didn't know about?
Yeah, I would have had a better agreement. I had
The
little
landlord or with the contractors?
with the contractors.
Okay.
There are agreements that are pretty standard business in the contract world. If they're late, they start paying you
Yeah.
every day that they're
In
late.
construction, that's super
Yeah.
big.
Yeah. So I had little to no power. They had all of the power. Their workers, every time I came, their workers were sitting on their phone, like eating.
There was nothing you could do to press them to get it done on time. There were no penalties.
Right, yeah. I would have done it very different from an agreement up front. Same thing with lots of things. We've done 3 big web projects, and on the last one, a non-negotiable for us was you're gonna call us back within a day if we need something, and we're gonna ship it on time. Same thing with that. The scope grows, they stop being responsive for up to a week, and that's super difficult. So now that I've gone through it before, I would do it differently. A little bit slower at the beginning to ultimately be faster in the process of building it up.
Makes sense. What got you into screen printing?
Played in a band.
Okay.
Yeah. After selling a few hundred shirts, it was just a wild idea. It's something I knew that I could do, and just slowly got into it. With $1,000, my dad let me borrow $1,000.
So what, by manual or?
Yeah, it was a super cool press. I wish I still had it, but I kind of burned it, like burned. The way to cure shirts or flash shirts was to swivel this little flash over.
Yeah.
And so the flash was just kind of everywhere. It's kind of all got gross and just kind of fell apart. But it was this infinity color manual press with these little straps of metal with these holes that you would slide onto these pegs to get registration. So I would just drill out my frames to put these straps on, and I would just have to have the space. But
I feel like you have a very, just looking around the shop, there's an interesting visual sense. Like, you talk about being clean, organized. I mean, even like the iPad holders are like, very neatly set up. The front is very nicely organized. Like, where do you think that comes from? Is that just how you view things? And like, even how you name the guarantee. And a couple things I noticed on the site too are very like clean.
yeah,
Cut. Obviously, the whole branding is all very much so like that too.
I don't know. I don't want to just do things. I think that's an opportunity to do something nice, to make someone encouraged to do whatever they do nice.
Sure.
Inspire someone in whatever they're doing. I think it's an opportunity to put yourself in the work. And we could cheat things all day, but you kind of know it in your heart when you're taking the shortcut. And I feel like that, to me personally, that just degrades my self-worth and what I stand for.
Got it. That's fair. It was funny. That's why I was asking you where you came from. Because, like, as a previous designer on the website, like, I appreciate a lot of that stuff. And from products to the web and just spaces. But coming from the band was a different. I guess I didn't expect that. But.
Yeah. It was a natural progression for sure. I love it. There's a place for me here. I feel that.
Sure.
There's work to be done, and I feel that. That's what drives me. This is all of our tables.
Huh.
This is our ping-pong table that we custom built that got taken over as a whatever table.
Table or something.
And this is packaging. So we do things a little different. We switched about 2 years ago. We used to count as shirts were coming down. We no longer do that. We count in when everything comes in, and what we're counting is damages. So we're subtracting from what we counted in. We're pulling factory damages and print damages, and we're keeping track of that. And then what packaging is getting is whatever was successful from that. But at this stage, if we dip below the quantity that our customer ordered, we can pull from inventory. We have an inventory system that's dynamic based on our usage of every size, of every color, of every style, of every brand. If we have it, our system will tell us that we have it, tell us where to get it. If not, we'll create a replacement order and we'll send it all the way back through. And then everything goes to packaging where we're doing a count out. So before, if it's a 4-print location job, we would lose our minds over whose count was right from the back to the front. So we put a lot of attention and trust in our receiving team to get the real count coming in, and then we get a final count going out.
How do you keep track of all of that?
Our database.
Okay.
That's just telling us how many the customer ordered, telling us how many were damaged, why they were damaged, where they're at, and then we're putting in how many we're shipping.
Cool.
And that better match up with the customer. And it does. And that's good.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So
That's great.
we're shipping out here. So super simple, linear flow. We're about to break that because we're adding embroidery. So you would think embroidery would go somewhere here in production, but it's not, because you can't get dust anywhere on the thread paths. So it's a bit funny.
What was the thought about investing in embroidery? Just doing more in-house
So many of our customers ask for it.
versus outsourcing it though? Like,
Yeah. We've never outsourced anything.
but if a customer asks for embroidery and screen printing, you'll just say we just do screen printing. You have to work with these guys.
Yeah. We didn't even have a good company to recommend people to. I didn't know anything about embroidery, and so I didn't know what was good. It works. It has a place here, so we picked it up, and we've been learning it all year. It's going well. Yeah, it's cool.
Cool. I love it.
We know you got a call, so
Yeah.
super cool.
Thank you so much for your
Yeah, I
time.
really appreciate
Heck
it.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
great to meet you guys.
You were really